who's going to come back as committed, who's going to work as hard. If you can't do it, come and see me and I'll move you on. And that goes for every player on the list. If you can't give the commitment you gave this year and you don't want to improve, well, you can go, because we've got unfinished business.
Ross Lyon, coach of the Saints, laying down the law after a disappointing loss in the grand final last year. But he's been good enough to join us after a win in round one of the new season. Welcome, Ross.
Thanks, Stuart.
Now, we gave you the guarantee that we wouldn't look back, we'll look forward. So let's just kick off with the grand final.
I'll hold you to account for that.
That's right. Go back to the grand final. Have you watched the tape?
Do I have to? Yeah, I have watched it. Yeah, on public record I've watched it. We certainly reviewed it. Did it on the drip a little bit over summer, the major points. There were some subtle things done. Just on the mechanics of the game, a few things that on both sides, what Geelong did and what we could have done better.
Can I ask you, you did everything basically to get a win, you missed some goals, but were there things within yourself that you would like to have your time again? Was there a change, a move, a selection? Yeah,
look, everyone would be analysing their own performance, and never at any stage in any game do I walk away and think you've done everything perfectly.
Well, what's the thing that keeps you awake at night that you should have tried?
Yeah, there's not too many things. I think you always wonder, Kaczynski into the ruck late, but he tied up Scarlett, you know, really. Scarlett, who's a great player, obviously had his hands full.
So is that important to Geelong, that you're happy for Cozzy to not have much impact on the scoreboard but keep Scarlett away? Yeah,
but I think if you talk about impact on scoreboard measuring it on pure goals kicked, I thought we functioned reasonably well. We had a number of shots, and I mean, even Geelong kicked the first goal of the last quarter, and then it was an arm wrestle for 18 minutes. But we certainly had, I think, the next 3 or 4 shots, you know, that were gettable. I could reel them off, you know, who they were. But I think that's pointless. And then with 5 minutes to go, it was a draw, you know, and the season was down to the last 5 minutes, and Geelong found a way and took their opportunities, and we'd certainly had a lot of previous opportunities, you know, and I'm on record, you know, you've done a lot right, 37 to 16.5, all those things, you know, but it is spilt milk, and they are premiers and we're runners-up, and I haven't got that luxury. We certainly need to learn from it and, you know, and get better. There's no doubt about that, and we talk about, well, on the day we didn't execute properly, then you look at your preparation over the course of the year, and as coaches and individual players, well, what could we have done maybe in preparation that will allow us to execute better than we did? So that's been a real focus for us.
It was a messy summer though, Ross, wasn't it? It was the Luke Ball situation and the Andrew Lovett situation.
Yeah, so look, it hasn't been ideal, and both of those outcomes aren't what we wanted. So, yeah, and you can describe it any way you like. It certainly wasn't, at the end of that day, leading in events that I really would have foreseen. Obviously with Luke there was, you know, negotiations that were started in June, and then that were consequently put on hold, and then the Lovett trade, you know, obviously we desired that trade and we executed that trade, and then obviously events since have been not what anyone would have wanted, anyone in AFL football, let alone St Kilda and Andrew Lovett. So yeah, it hasn't been perfect, but it certainly hasn't distracted us, and the members and fans have become financial members. We're up, I think, you know, we're 35,500 already. We're targeting 40,000. So they've voted, you know, with their hip pocket. They love the way the direction the club's going. We've got some young, exciting players. You saw Stanley. So there's a lot of positives, and I can't afford to continually look backwards. I haven't got that luxury.
I understand that.
But I'm happy to sort of obviously...
But would you like the Ball situation over again? I mean, I think you sort of half admitted that after the grand final you may have lost him a bit, that there was a period of time when you had him on the bench and probably should have or could have used him. And then I think
it's hard to, you know, sum up a year in 6 months. You know, I think it's unfair. You know, we can go about this a number of different ways, but if you want to specifically drill into the grand final, yeah, I think I'm on record. I think it was a Monday night. I'm driving along, and you know, obviously, it wasn't perfect, his minutes in the second half, and you know, if it was perfect control, I said it would have been another 2 5-minute bursts, and I don't shy away from that. But I've read all sorts of things in your paper, not by you, but Luke didn't go on in the last quarter. I mean, that's all garbage. He had a 10 or a 12-minute burst, you know. So no one corrects that, but I'm not going to go around trying to point out all the fallacies that have been written and printed, because that's not my job, and I certainly haven't got time for that. But look, Luke's a really good person, and I mean the simple thing is he's a Collingwood player, okay, and he really got it underway on the weekend. I didn't see that, and we wish Luke all the best. You know, worked really, and Luke, the way Luke spoke on the football show, I thought he summed it up. He did decide to leave, and he felt there was a number of variables along the way, but ultimately he wasn't sure of his fit, and obviously I couldn't placate him on that, and that's the bottom line. And so I think, you know, Nick's comments and mine about a contract on the table, ultimately Luke did make the decision, and you know, he felt he didn't fit, and I couldn't placate that. So that's the ultimate line. And to see Luke, I thought he was still relatively emotional, you know, but to get his season underway, that's good for Luke, it's good for us, and we all move on.